insight, humor, mental health, trends, and relevance that is offered guarantees a listening experience that is both enlightening and enjoyable, promising a journey not to be missed. Ria Mahomed from Nxt Genz.
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It is your host Ria Mahomed on Nxt Gen right here at Radio Al Ansar. From exploring current trends to delving into pressing issues like social justice and mental health, this show fearlessly tackles the pivotal subjects that resonate deeply within our generation. My mission is to embody authenticity, relatability, and humor, ensuring that even the most challenging discussions become accessible and engaging, creating a space where listeners can feel understood and entertained simultaneously. Now, today I am joined by pharmacist Kimberly Pillay, who brings us both clinical expertise and everyday insight into how young people are engaging with their health in a rapidly changing world. We're diving into how Gen Z approaches wellness, medication, and mental health, and whether it's actually helping or sometimes harming us in the process. So from the rise of self-diagnosis through social media to the growing openness around anxiety and depression, we'll explore what really happening behind the pharmacy counter. We'll also talk about the influence of TikTok health trends and the misuse of over-the-counter medication, and how young people are navigating supplements, skincare, vaping, and energy drinks in their daily lives. Now, more importantly, we will unpack trust, whether Gen Z still turns to pharmacists for guidance, or if the internet has taken over that role completely. And we'll look ahead at how pharmacy is evolving to meet a generation that expects speed, accessibility, and digital connection. So stay tuned as we get into some honest truths, challenge a few misconceptions, and hopefully walk away with clear understanding of how to take better care of ourselves in a world full of information and misinformation. Hi Kim, how are you doing today?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. I'm so glad that you're joining us today, and I think that it's absolutely brilliant to have someone like you share insights and narratives relating to the health of Gen Z.
Thank you so much
for coming on. I'm really
It's a
excited for
pleasure.
this. Now, diving straight into this topic, how do you think Gen Z approaches health differently compared to older generations?
So I think Gen Z is definitely more information driven, and whereas older generations will go to the pharmacist or their doctor first
Yeah.
for health advice, Gen Z is definitely Google first or TikTok
Yes.
immediately, and they usually walk into the pharmacy already with an idea of what's
Yeah.
wrong with them or what they need, and sometimes they're on the right track, sometimes they're completely off. But yeah, definitely Google or TikTok first.
No, I get that. I mean, I've done that quite a few times
Yeah.
before. I know someone, in fact, who assumed that they had an issue, and it was actually anxiety.
Oh my word.
And also, anxiety from also constipation.
Oh
and
my
and they
gosh.
blamed it on the anxiety.
Yes.
And they're very bloated, and they were not sure what exactly
Yeah.
the issue was, but it was constipation, because they went onto TikTok and Instagram and they're like, okay, no, I'm self-diagnosing myself.
Yes, and the internet usually gives you the worst diagnosis
Yes.
first instead of the
Yes.
simplest things that it could be.
Indeed. Now, do you think young people today are more proactive or reactive when it comes to their health?
I think it depends on the situation. So I think definitely more proactive when it comes to things like your skincare or your gut health, things like that. But I think when it's more chronic issues and things, they can definitely be more reactive.
100%.
And I think when it's things that are not easily accessible, like things like your chronic where you have to go and get bloods done and it takes up a whole lot of time, they're like, oh, I don't have the time for this. So I'm just going to put it on the back burner for now.
I get that. Now, what are the most common health concerns you see among Gen Z patients?
So I think, like you said, anxiety is definitely coming up a lot more. We're seeing a lot more scripts even for scripted meds for anxiety and depression. Also a lot of skincare issues coming through. So we see a lot of scripts for acne. And this can also just be from people using a whole lot of skincare stuff that's actually making their skin worse. And also a lot more hormonal issues. So things like PCOS, endometriosis. So we're definitely seeing that rise a lot.
I mean, I know when it comes to acne, as you mentioned, a lot of skincare, that's what's causing it.
Yes.
And then I also see, for example, one of the common I think medications for acne is Roaccutane.
Yes.
But then a lot of people can't just take that because they're probably on chronic medication.
Correct.
And of course that doesn't really match up with each other.
Exactly.
Now, have you noticed an increase in prescriptions related to anxiety or depression among young people?
Yes, for sure. We've definitely seen a rise on prescription meds for younger people. And I think also what a lot of younger people don't know is that psychotherapy, so like going to therapy, is as effective as being on medication. So you don't always need to like be on meds immediately. You can try those other avenues first before you get to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's brilliant. I mean, I was just thinking about this recently, that a lot of issues that come up is like generational trauma.
Correct.
And then, I mean, that obviously lowers a person's self-esteem, and then that's how anxiety starts. And then, I mean, fear of judgment when it comes to family politics as well. And then it obviously relates to huger issues.
Yes, exactly.
Now, I wanted to know, how do pharmacists play a role in supporting mental health beyond just dispensing medication?
So I think there's different areas of pharmacy, but I think as a community pharmacist, we're definitely more patient facing. So we get to build relationships with our regular patients. And so I think when it comes to just beyond medicine and dispensing to them, we get to build that trust with them. So a lot of patients usually will open up to us, like whether it's their personal issues or something happening at work or whatever. And I think it's just like giving the person the space to just talk, and just being a listening ear helps so much. And honestly, all some people need is someone to talk to and someone 100%. To listen. And so if I can give someone 5 minutes of my day to get rid of their baggage, like I'm more than willing to do that.
I absolutely love that. Now, do you think Gen Z is more open about mental health, and how does that affect pharmacy practice?
I think they're definitely more aware of mental health and more open to things preventing them from having burnout or anxiety and depression. And I think as a pharmacist, we need to just be more abreast with information coming out about mental health, because a lot more people are asking questions about it than they did previously. And so we just need to know a lot more things like the common symptoms and treatment, supplementation, even natural supplements. So I think just knowing more information about it also helps.
100%. And I also feel like, okay, when it comes to generations, this generation, so Gen Z, is more open to talking about what they feel or what they're going through, where previous generations were against that.
Definitely.
And that's why when you have, like, for example, parents who are very old school, they won't just accept, their child saying, Mom and Dad, I have anxiety, I'm going through something,
for sure.
I may need medication. So I think that's also like really important. I mean, the fact that someone can come to you as a pharmacist and get that guidance.
Yes, correct.
Where they won't just get it from any other place.
Exactly. Because I think older generations also were taught to just bottle things up. And Gen Z is definitely more open about that stuff.
100%. Now, how has platforms like TikTok influenced the way Gen Z understands medication and health advice?
So I think those platforms definitely make information more accessible. And so Gen Z is now used to just getting everything at the tip of their fingertips. So I think also a lot of information is very simplified, and it's also very influencer driven. So it's not necessarily that an expert's giving you the information you're getting, but you're getting it from an influencer. And because you watch them all the time, you believe what they're saying or have confidence in what they're saying, but sometimes it's not the right information, or the information can be a little bit misleading. So that definitely affects.
Definitely, because I mean, what you see on social media is completely curated.
Correct.
Not everything you see is true, so don't believe everything you see.
Most of it's clickbait, guys.
Now, have you ever had to correct misinformation that a young patient got online?
Yes, I have had to do that. It's actually a rising challenge in our day-to-day job, because a lot of people will get like reviews online or TikTok and be like, come into the pharmacy, oh, I found this online, do you have this, do you keep this? It's not even on the market, it's not even available, we don't know where they got it from, and we just have to like reel them in and try to offer something that's safe, something that we know is effective. So it's definitely a challenge.
Because I see people, I mean, posting stuff like videos on my For You page, and then they have it on this thing called TikTok shop, and then I know they probably would go to pharmacies or different places saying, do you have this? But of course they don't.
Definitely. We actually had a patient, there was something trending on TikTok, and it was used for like skin lightening. And so she came in a few times, and we're like, you know what, this is actually not available from our suppliers. And so she went to like another shop and found it, and she bought it. She actually burnt her skin on her face so badly. And we now had to go back and now give her treatment to treat her skin and all of that. So guys, don't believe everything you see online.
No, I agree 100%.
Yeah.
And now, What's the most dangerous trend or myth about medication you've seen circulating online?
So I wouldn't say most dangerous, but I think tricky things are believing that like natural is safe.
Yeah.
That's not always true because sometimes natural supplements can interact with other medication you're taking, chronic meds, and also natural supplements can affect your liver function and all of that. So it's not necessarily that it's the safer option. The other thing is also like misuse of supplements. Like a lot of people are taking a whole lot of supplements, and you don't actually need to be taking all of those supplements because majority of those things can be taken from your diet.
Yeah,
so if you're
100%.
following a balanced diet, like you're perfectly fine. You don't need to be taking a whole lot of supplements.
I mean, like, okay, a lot of people, of course, go to the gym and then they take supplements like protein and all that. Now, what I notice is that, okay, for example, pre-workouts. In fact, my brother did this where his friend wanted to finish his pre-workout. So he gave my brother 3 scoops and then that made him like really, really jittery. And I think like misuse of that is
correct. So true. Especially like things like taking protein supplements and things. Those things can actually affect your kidney function and stuff. So like if you don't need it, don't take it.
Yes, 100%. Like, okay, initially, well, with me, so I get like super, super drained out because I work and then there's like so much going on. But like at the end of the day, I get super drained out and then I need to go to the gym. But then I feel like, but I'm tired.
Yeah, you
and
don't
I
have
don't
the
know if
energy.
I can do this. And then I take the pre-workout. So initially, I said to myself, okay, I'm not going to take it because I know it's not good for my kidneys and my liver. And then I said, no, I'm going to stay away from that. But then now, ever since I started working,
you need the energy.
And doing all these things, I need the energy. And when I went to the store to buy it, the guy, he gave me a specific one, but he did tell me, do not take it after 5 because you're not going to sleep. And that is true.
Yes.
And the main times I go to the gym is after 5.
Oh no.
So that's, I guess, another aspect to like why people, gym people have insomnia.
Yeah,
Because it's
definitely.
probably like the pre-workout.
Correct.
And managing it inappropriately.
Correct. Because a lot of things like are specific, like you need to take them specifically in the morning or specific at night, and a lot of people don't know that, so they just take it at odd times of the day.
100%. Now, do you find Gen Z tends to self-diagnose more than using the internet?
For sure. They definitely do. And I think also, like I said, because information is so accessible, people are just like on Google immediately with their
education?
So I think it's just being more accessible online. So specifically at